And the carving represent a person holding the player and the one that carries out the sacrifice with a large knife cutting his head off. That was the tradition.
Shit.
Let me begin by giving you an update view on our location. After riding across Mexico, we had arrived in the state of Veracruz, and we're about to visit one of the most famous ancient pyramids in Mexico, in the UNESCO site of El Tajin, which translates into City of the Thunder God. We had arrived early to avoid the crowds, and it looks like we're the first ones here.
Aha! Okay. Perfecto.
We're here in El Tajin in Veracruz, Mexico, and this was one of the largest and most important cities of the pre-Columbian era, so before the Spanish invaded the Americas.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very apocalypto. Let's go see. There are evidence of first settlements in this area about 5,000 years ago, so it's a long time that people started to create a community here. But the buildings and the final city that was built was flourishing between 600 and 1200. For some reason then the city started to collapse, and everything was forgotten for centuries.
Yeah.
Until in the 1900s actually, by accident, some people rediscovered one of the pyramids, and then digging, they found that there was a huge amount of other pyramids and houses and a very large city.
This was a city. You think of,
Yeah.
I love casting my mind back to when it was bustling and when there's people and activities and
markets and
yeah.
people living here, people coming here to sell their produce, people that lived in the actual city.
The grandness of El Tajin cannot be overstated, and they're continually uncovering more. At the height of its power, it possessed cultural, economic and political control over the region, in part due to its strategic location connecting the Gulf of Mexico to the centre of the country.
All these buildings have been restored to what you see here because they were basically covered in trees and vegetation for centuries. So they had to dig a lot of stuff to rediscover all the old buildings, and obviously they were damaged. So they restored them, similar to the way they were supposed to be when they were built. So, and they're massive, a lot bigger than I was expecting them to be.
Beautiful.
This is very cool because you can see the transition between the forest, the jungle, and then clear out the trees and the bushes, and then start excavating, and all of a sudden you got a pyramid. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And this probably gives a good visual on how the site must have been when people started to discover these pyramids, just covered in trees. And then they found all of this, all underneath the jungle.
El Tajin boasts many impressive buildings, temples, palaces and ball courts, but the most impressive of all is the stunning Pyramid of the Niches. With its great staircase, multiple platform altars and 365 niches marking its connection to the solar year.
You want to walk?
Kind of do. I think they mind. You distract the security guards.
Yes, exactly. You go, I get naked and start running.
Yeah.
Then you inside. So they all run after me.
And I just do a selfie from the top.
Yeah. I'm sure the gods wouldn't appreciate it.
No, there'd be thunder and lightning and rain and a plague of locusts.
Yeah.
Religion was based on the movement of the planets, the stars, the sun and the moon. Human sacrifices also played an important role in El Tajin and were often linked with their game of pelota.
There are 17 ball courts in the city of Tajin, and this is the largest, is the ball court south. This is not only the largest, it's also the one with the better carvings. And here there is a beautiful carving of a human sacrifice. At the end of the game, one of the two players were chosen to be sacrificed to the god, and the carving represents a person holding the player and the one that carries out the sacrifice with a large knife, cutting his head off. That was the tradition.
And with that gruesome image, it was time to leave.
Fabulous.
When we exited the site, we happened to arrive at just the right time to see a demonstration of Danza de los Voladores, or Dance of the Flyers, which is an ancient Mesoamerican ceremony which apparently is still performed today in small pockets of Mexico. The ritual consists of dance and the climbing of a 30-metre pole, from which 4 of the 5 participants then launch themselves, tied with ropes, to descend to the ground. The 5th remains on top of the pole, dancing and playing a flute and a drum.
I have no idea how they sit up there on the top of that pole with like no support or anything and lean back and play an instrument. It's incredible.
The ritual was created to ask the gods to end a severe drought, but now it's maintained to protect Mexican heritage.
Oh my goodness. Holy. Wow.
The flute and the spinning would nearly put you in a trance. I wonder how the men stay conscious.
Came out in time to see that spectacle,
That's
which
incredible,
was
yeah.
amazing. The skill of them and the height.
The courage.
Wow.
I don't know how tall the
That's-
pole is, but it's at least, I don't know, 40 meters easily, probably more. It's very
Brilliant.
It's super, yeah.
This is an incredible place.
That was super. But now it really was time to start heading south. The state of Veracruz was beautiful, with its leafy tropical foliage and large banana plants. And then the rain came in. But I guess that's just part and parcel of it. By lunchtime, we were well due a break and looking forward to some Mexican food. And we got some nice soup to warm us up. Ah, perfect, gracias. Yeah. Super. Yeah, I love street food. It's great. And super lunch.
Hot soup.
Yeah?
It's not cold, but you get damp with the rain, and
damp.
it's nice to have a nice something warm.
Yeah.
And the taco with the
Beautiful.
birrias. Delicious.
After lunch, the weather dried up and we rode through a different landscape yet again, with agricultural fields and farming communities.
Cafeteria. Okay. I presume so. That's where we're going. Here we are.
Super.
Yeah? Okay.
Cool. It's been a very different day. We haven't had rain for months. And with the windy mountainous roads and oh my god, all the potholes, it made for quite difficult driving.
And the trucks and the dirt and the everything else on the way.
Yeah.
It was cool. So we are here for tonight, and tomorrow we continue the journey.
Yeah. After a long day riding, we were looking forward to a relaxing evening, but that wasn't going to be the case. As soon as we'd finished unloading the bikes, disaster struck, and I was trapped. I'm locked in our hotel room. There's a really strong security door and the lock isn't working. And I'm inside and Davide's outside. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. The owner of the hotel came to help Davide. They tried and they tried again to turn the lock. They sprayed it with oil. They tried a different key. They gave me a key inside to try. But the key kept turning without opening the lock. The door was made of metal, with strong metal bars protecting the small amount of glass. You have to hand it to the Mexicans. They know how to build a secure door. So then they gave me a screwdriver to remove the lock. Okay, so I have to unscrew the lock.
Look at all the screws that you can see trying to push the whole thing out.
There's only the two screws and then the twisty thing. No, there's only two. Okay. But there was only two screws and removing them made absolutely no difference. And I was still left inside.
You move on because they're gonna break the wind, they're gonna break the glass.
Shit, okay, hang on. Okay, let's stand back. Shit.
That thing was tough. It ain't budging. By now I was beginning to get a little concerned, as I'd been at it for over an hour. I was feeling like a prisoner, wondering if I'd ever get out. But after a lot more hammering, he got the lock off and I was free.
Gracias.
Oh, the relief. I was free again.
Oh.
So after you broke the other door, so they had to move us into a new room. Now let's see if we can break this one too.
We couldn't stay in that room. It would be a bit drafty after they broke the glass.
Oh well. All right.
Right, give a jacket.
Did this experience compromise your appetite?
I'm stressed, yes.
You need to eat more now.
I need to have a beer.
Only one.
Well, I'll start with one. Right.
No beer. It's bad for you.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Let's go. So number 11. Not gonna work for tonight. So we got number 12.
I'm free.